We're going to look at a quick order of operations review and connect that to the exponent work that we've been doing in class recently. So in your table of contents, go ahead and just, your next two pages, so 9, 10, are going to be our order of operations. And today's date is the 30th. So we have that in our table of contents. Go ahead and go to that page. So for me, that's page 9. Yours should be pretty similar to that. All right, so we're going to do our notes on this side, then we're going to look at some examples to the left. So looking at our notes, we're going to label this order of operations. And we haven't been doing this, and that's my fault. At the top of every notes, I want us to put what skill this is. So for order of operations, this is skill 3. So go ahead and just at the top, put skill 3. I can use order of operations to evaluate expressions. So skill 3 is I can use order of operations to evaluate expressions. So in our next quiz, we'll see that. All right, so order of operations. I'm sure most of us remember. We can think of PEMDAS, and then when I write it, I like to write it something like this. So we know the P stands for parentheses. And that includes parentheses that look like this, parentheses that look like this. Turn this so it's straight for you. So both of those parentheses are included, even parentheses that look like that. All of those, if you see those, do what's inside that first. Then next we have exponents. So that includes something squared or the square root of something. Roots also count as exponents. That's important to remember when we do these. And then we have multiply and divide, however you want to write that. I'm just writing mine underneath. Remember with multiplication and division, they're both kind of on equal level. So remember we multiply and divide from left to right. And we can write the same thing about addition and subtraction. We add and subtract from left to right. So we start with parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add and subtract. So let's look at a couple of examples. So if we look at some examples, let's do our first one as 250 minus 3 times 5 squared. So we have an exponent that's connected with the parentheses, but since parentheses is first, we'll do what's in the parentheses first. So 3 times 5 is 15. You can keep that in the parentheses, keep the exponent there, and just bring everything else down. 250 minus 15 squared. 15 squared is 225. So we get 250 minus 25. We did exponents next. No multiplication division. The only thing left is subtraction. So we get 25 as our answer. Let's look at one other example, and then I'll have you try a couple. So the next example I want us to look at is 4 3 plus 2 squared minus 7. So again, parentheses first. So 3 plus 2, we get 4, we get 5 when we do 3 plus 2. Keep the exponent there, minus 7. Exponent is next. You only do exponents for what's around the parentheses. So it's just 5 squared, not 45. We don't multiply first, 5 squared. So 25. So 4 times 25 minus 7. 4 times 25 is 100. Minus 7, because multiplication is first. And then we can do 100 minus 7. And we get 93 as our answer here. So I want us to go ahead and I want you to try a couple examples to see how well you do. And then I'll go over the answer. So go on your other page to the left. I want you to try these two. I want you to try 6 minus 2 plus the square root of 4. Actually, I'm going to give you more than 2. 19 plus 36 divided by 3 squared. And the last one I want you to try is a little bit longer one. Try 6 times in parentheses 5 plus 3. This is a times, I'm going to change that to a dot. Divided by 3 minus 2 cubed. So looking at those three, go ahead and try those. So the first one, again, roots are exponents. So there's no parentheses, we'll go straight to exponents. The square root counts as an exponent. So square root of 4 we know is 2. And then just bring everything else down. Then we have addition and subtraction. Don't do this addition first. Remember, if we have both addition and subtraction, we just work left to right. So we start with the subtraction. 6 minus 2 is 4. And then all we have left is 4 plus 2. So we should get 6. Go ahead and try the next one. So if we look at this one, again, no parentheses, so we'll just go straight to exponents. 3 squared gives us 9. Bring everything else down. Then we have division. So multiplication and division, we only have division. So 36 divided by 9 gives us 4. 19 plus 4, we get 23 as our answer. I'm going to try the third one. So the third one, parentheses first, 5 plus 3 gives us 8. Bring everything else down. Then we'll look for exponents. We do have exponents. We have 2 cubed. 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 8, bring everything else down. Then we have multiplication and division, and we just work left to right. So we start with our multiplication. 6 times 8 is 48. Bring everything else down. Then we have 48 divided by 3. You could go ahead and do that off to the side if you aren't sure. So off to the side, we could do 48 divided by 3. And we end up with 16. So 48 divided by 3 is 16. And we have 16 minus 8. 16 minus 8 is 8. And that's our final answer. So we'll look at more exponents, square roots, cube roots tomorrow. And we'll continue practicing our exponents inside of our order of operations.